Well, Coach, the seating capacity is 65,000 at Ford Field, and we are right around that number today. A good crowd on hand and seemingly ready to go in the Motor City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Green Bay Packers and stepping up, he's going to keep it and avoids the contact by sliding. First down, Lions on a pickup of 13.
And that was a nice, strong run by the guy they call the field general.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
I'm going back to you. I'm going back to you. Alert, alert. Alert, alert.
Now it's Carson. Back-to-back one. 1-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a 3rd down and 8.
He's brought down at the 39-yard line. A 1-yard pickup brings up 3rd and 8.
180! 42! Watch the slant. Slant. Hey, 18.
Here's Trubisky to throw. And he finds McLaurin. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A gain of 22.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
He's going to air one out. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down. He was all over that route defensively. Now, they had 2 picks last week as a unit. Couldn't quite grab that one.
Patience, Grasshopper. Patience is early in this game, but you like the fact that they're around the football early. They're going to be upset they didn't haul that one in, but at least they're there at the moment of truth to make a play on it.
By the way, where did the Grasshopper thing come from? I know it's been around for a long time.
Yeah, you know, I'll have to tell you that some other time.
All right, back to football.
At the 19-yard line.
180! That QB's trash. Let's go.
From the red zone now, here's Trubisky on 1st down. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
18.
Trubisky now off the bootleg. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Zadarius Smith just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. Let's see what they draw up here. 3rd and long following the sack of Trubisky.
Alert.
Out of the gun, Trubisky. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. And he'll only get this to the 17, well shy of what he needed. 6 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Gonzalez's kick is good, and the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, it's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll run it now out of the gun. Credit the tackle that time to Deshaun Hand.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's got some space here. Wow, a big seam, and he might go all the way. Touchdown, Packers. A great effort there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Packers have taken the lead. Well called, well blocked, and then he just made a great play. That was an athlete going a long way.
Yeah, how about the suddenness, too, of just getting there and taking off and going? For the defensive guys, plays like that really hurt.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
And maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Stepping up, he'll try and run. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
So Darius Smith on the stop. A gain of a yard makes it 3rd and 11.
Look, 180, 59. You're not ready. You're not ready.
On 3rd down, Trubisky. Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Darius Smith, his 2nd sack of the night. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
Well, nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And it'll be Packer football here, 1st down and 10. So good field position for the Packers as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43.
Hey, 626. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Mike. No.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer 1st down. Ready for the 2nd quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Running game working, they'll stick with it on 1st down. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the Lions' 46-yard line.
No. 319. Check right. Mike 52. Inside. Hey, dude. Get that quarterback.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Working from the gun, Rodgers. He's going to rifle one deep left side. He's got it at the 15. And he is able to take this way down into Detroit territory. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 47 yards. And into the red zone now. And, Charles, they told us offense in the red zone was a focus this week in practice.
A huge priority, and the key was to get points. So you know that all the time during the week they talked about executing, taking care of the football, no big mistakes. Make sure they put points on the board and come out of it with that.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 4-yard line.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
26. 630.
Now Rodgers. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Davante Adams, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short.
I know every offense wants to start their snaps closer to the goal line, but it's actually harder to throw the ball in those situations. You throw into that tight coverage, you see what happens. Hard to get the ball in there.
Not enough space there. Lucky maybe that he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. A great play there. With 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Trubisky. And that's incomplete. Chris Carson, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. Maybe a little over-anxious in the pocket there. He just didn't look comfortable on that throw.
No, he didn't, because it wasn't his normal fluid delivery. And I think you might have had it right. Wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield, and almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, they decided to air it out a little bit on that play, take a shot downfield, but the coverage was really nice, able to get a hand in and tip it away.
This is taken at the 23. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Now, right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Packers. A big play there. On his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Now Zerline on to add the extra point. And it's 21-3. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 20.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Trubisky picked by his former teammate Adrian Amos. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And they gave up the pick 6. And now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up. But you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful, because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now Trubisky. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Galladay. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a 1st down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. This time Trubisky will throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Here's Trubisky. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Rashawn Gary showing his strength and quickness there, a loss of 4. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. He is going to find Hill here. And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 29-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Throwing here, Trubisky. That's going to be caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. That's good for 28 yards. They'll try to run with Carson. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Chris Carson, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Lions are able to cut into this lead. Zane Gonzalez on for the extra point. And this is up and good. It cuts the lead to 28-10 now. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well. So that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Coleman, and his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Hill, the intended receiver once again, and it's 3rd down. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for.
Well, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Kevin King with a pick.
You're trailing, you're trying to get points late in the half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with.
Hey, orbit.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And the return here is stopped at the 35. Five-yard line.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A gain there of 30 big ones.
And the Lions first down. 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. From the shotgun is Trubisky. They complete it to Hill. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And it is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. A 14-yard touchdown. And the Lions were able to draw a bit closer. Gonzalez good on the extra point. And the lead is down to 11 at 28-17. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. So we've come to halftime here with the visiting Packers out on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
First down, Packers.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Guys, it's game situation.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 17 yards on the play there as the Packers have the first down as well.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Romeo Okwara. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
51 yards on the punt there. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Trubisky now down around his goal line. And going deep for Hill. It got his man complete. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. 96 yards as his guys are back within a single score. So now Trubisky will lead his guys to the line. They'll go for 2 here.
18. Red, up. Check 25.
From the gun, it's Trubisky. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And with it, they're back within a field goal. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Here's Rodgers to throw. 17 yards on the play there as the Packers have the first down as well.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Rodgers throwing quickly out to Adams. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, he was circled, starred, everything. Find him, cover him. But sometimes you can scheme a guy open. You put the receivers in a bunch, maybe you move some motion, maybe you put him on the backside of a formation, and all of a sudden you've got a better matchup. Every now and then, the offensive guys, they figure a way to get him open, even with everyone keeping eyes on him.
And that's certainly a guy they want to keep trying to scheme open. Throwing is Rodgers on third down. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And Rodgers intercepted a third time. Darius Slay with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. 3 touchdown passes now for Mitchell Trubisky. And the Lions are going to jump back in front.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
Well, you said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone.
Let's go. Let's go.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Their lead, they have seen it evaporate completely after such a good first half. They've been shut down here in the third quarter.
Searching for answers, trying to figure out what it's going to take to get back to where they were before. The big part of it is that sometimes you don't have to go exotic now. You go back to basics. Being able to run the football, string some things together, some effective passes, try and get a rhythm established again, and try and get back in the lead.
Back in. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked by Tracy Walker. Boy, what a turnaround. They exited the lockers with a nice lead, and now all of this. What's happened?
So when you start to write your novel, you'll start out with, it was a tale of two halves, won't you?
Right, but I'm a bad writer.
I don't know exactly what happened, because sometimes teams can go in with a lead and get too comfortable, too relaxed, and a couple of things go wrong, and it's hard to get back that good feeling.
It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the third quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the fourth quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
Back now at Ford Field. It's the Lions holding onto the football, and they also have the lead as we start quarter number 4. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Here's Trubisky to throw to the goal line, but it's incomplete. Solid coverage on the play by Devondre Campbell.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
But from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And we have seen a lot on the scoreboard here in this quarter. So sometimes you talk to me about tendency breakers on offense. These defenses struggling. Are there tendency breakers on defense?
All defensive coordinators keep something in their hip pocket for these types of situations. What can we do to slow down the onslaught? But the biggest thing is making sure these guys encourage each other, pick themselves up, because right now it's been a really tough.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Throwing on second and long. Rodgers is going to fire one deep open. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Will Harris. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Looking to throw on second down. Trubisky. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. They'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
Now Johnson. Tackle made by Devondre Campbell. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. A big play there. 46 yards. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. And the lead now up to 14. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. 31 yards there and a first down. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. It's caught here by Adams. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
This is caught, and he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down, so let's see what this is about. They'll wind up losing a full 10 yards on the play. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Rodgers now throwing on 3rd and long. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield.
Hey, Delta, 55, right there, look, 55. You don't want to go one another. Pick up the ball. Hey, 88. You remember me?
Rodgers to throw for it on 4th. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Darius Slay with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Again, it's Johnson. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. A 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down. Johnson running right. And he will get him down a couple yards shy of the 1st down marker. A nice tackle coming up from his free safety spot. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. And look at this. It's a fake. And a cut to the right and some open field here. The deception there pays off to perfection. 14 yards on the fake punt and a 1st down. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did.